All right, Thomas, another solid round for yourself. Put yourself right in contention heading into the final 2 days. Just kind of take us through what went well for you today.
I'd say on the greens, I made just said 120 feet of putt, which was pretty nice. I started around with a bogey on the second hole. I missed the three-footer, so thought it could be a long day on the greens, but turned it around nicely. Made some great putts. I felt like I had the speed today all day. Obviously, first off, so the greens were running great as well. There's definitely an advantage. But very pleased. And then, I've known this course now for a couple of years. I played the US Open here, and I played last year, so I feel like I know where not to miss it. Greens are obviously soft with all the rain that we've had, which allows you to leave yourself easy up and downs. Where if the greens were firm, it would have been a bit trickier.
Some guys don't mind POA greens. Some guys hate them. Where do you kind of net out on? I mean, you played well today.
Yeah, it's hit or miss for me as well. Some guys hate it. I mean, I've hated it in the past. I've loved it in the past. It's kind of it's just, it's not straight math. Golf is not science, unfortunately. So some days you got it, some days you don't. But they seem to be rolling pretty nicely. So I mean, my pace is great. I'm striking well off the face with the putter head. So not much wrong can happen really.
Plenty of experience for you on the DP World Tour, but last year was your first kind of rookie season out on the PGA Tour.
Yes.
What do you feel like you learned about yourself over this last year, kind of in the States, that you can help apply to this year?
I got off to a great start last year on the PGA Tour. I feel like, I'm familiar out here. I've been to college here, so I love it. I love it being in the U.S. But, last year I think I got caught up trying to play a little bit too much, with scheduling, with obviously the change in format, the top 50. So trying to chase that a little bit towards the end, I think, which obviously got into my head. But, this year I think I'm pretty committed to keeping a pretty strict schedule and committing to the weeks that I'm trying to play and trying to peak at the right time.
Is it helpful to come to these courses now a second time? I mean, I heard you talking about you played the US Open here, so you've been here a couple times, but now just as you set off on a second year, coming back to places instead of having to relearn golf courses?
Massive, especially the West Coast. I think we played 3 courses last week, 2 courses this week, and then Pebble used to be 3 courses. So if you've never been to all these places, suddenly you're playing 8 courses in the span of 3 weeks, and it's just a lot of practice rounds, So definitely feel a little bit nicer to get here, knowing the courses. I only played 9 holes in the south, 9 holes in the north, so I didn't feel like I had to rush. Even though it was rained out on Monday, I didn't feel like I had to rush that. So it's definitely much nicer being able to not rush and knowing the course, definitely.
And then just those signature events, trying to get in and qualify for those. Are you paying much attention to where you're at and what you're doing?
Not at all. I know, luckily, I'm into Pebble next week, which I'm very excited for that. It's great. It's a great event as well. I played it last year, so I'm looking forward to that. But not really. I'm not really paying attention to any of it. I feel like that's what I got caught up last year doing. So I'm just going to try to play like I did the last 2 days, and I hope it will definitely take care of things.
I had a couple. Thomas, a lot of success on the par 5s today. You birdied 3 of the 4. What was the key for you there today?
On the par 5s, what were the key? Bit of a mixed bag. I played 13 really, really nicely. I hit a great drive, an amazing 3-wood. Left myself in the right spot in the bunker. Hole 9, I made a giant putt. So I'd say, I drove it really well. Hole number 6, I drove it well. I hit a great 4-iron to the middle of the green, lagged it up there very nicely. So it was definitely some good driving, which you have to do because the rough is up here. So if you don't hit the fairways, you'll be screwed. Luckily, I managed to make a great putt on 9, which made up for that. But you want to hit fairways, definitely.
Awesome. And you mentioned you went to college in the States at Illinois. Another Illinois alum here, also another Belgian, Adrian Dumont-Chassart, is here. Have you two had the chance to connect at all this week?
Yeah, we know each other pretty well. Our parents know each other very well, so obviously he went to Illinois as well. So we see each other a bit, but it's been a bit of a rush the last couple of weeks. 3 different courses last week, 2 courses this week, so it got rained out obviously on Monday. So we haven't really had proper time to chill together, but we'll have plenty of weeks ahead of us this year to do that.
And being a college player yourself, he has got onto the tour very quickly after his college career ended. We saw last week an amateur win on tour for the first time in over 30 years. What is it about the state of the college game right now that gets guys so ready for the professional ranks so quickly?
I mean, I think more than in any sport, I think college golf is just the pathway to the PGA Tour. I think there's just no ways around it. It's just so strong. We see all these guys, Ludwig Ebert, Victor Hovland a couple of years ago, Nick Dunlap. I mean, it's just Matthew Walsh. Like all these guys who were dominating out there are clearly good enough to come out here. So I think it's a great test. It's a great way of knowing if your game is ready for the PGA Tour or not when you're in college. And you're learning so much. You know, it's obviously competitive. The courses are great. It makes you ready for the professional life. So it's definitely a must do to go to college if you want to turn pro, in my opinion.